Guys, I'm not going to fight you. I'm here on vacation.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2025 action sequel, Nobody 2. The film is directed by Timo Tärjanto and it stars Bob Odenkirk, Connie Nielsen, Christopher Lloyd, John Ortiz, Sharon Stone, Colin Hanks and Colin Salmon. Right, okay, this is the sequel to the very popular action film from a couple of years ago, Nobody. This time round, we meet Hutch. He is essentially now active once again in regards to his assassin work, what he was doing previously in a previous life. He's got some debts to pay off. However, he's also distancing himself from his family. He's losing his family, basically. So they decide to go on vacation to an old, water park holiday place that he has fond memories from when he was a young boy, when his dad took him. So they head off there. However, what he doesn't realise is that the place is a front. It used to be an old bootlegging route, and that has remained, but rather than alcohol, it's everything else. Drugs, money, weapons, and it's all run by Sharon Stone's character, this quite evil and twisted mob boss that runs everything with a firm hand. This leads Hutch into a direct confrontation with the corrupt local police force and everybody else, as well as Sharon Stone. Right, what are my thoughts on Nobody 2? Well, the first one was a real pleasant surprise. Really well done. Proof once again, if we needed it, that Hollywood could turn anybody into an action star with the right material, the right talent in front of and behind the camera, and someone who's willing to commit to the role. And that's definitely what we got with the first Nobody film. It was hugely entertaining stuff. So nobody really was complaining that we were getting a sequel to that film. The trailer dropped a few months ago, and the film looked fun and entertaining. You know, the whole idea of him going on vacation and then kind of walking his family into danger sounded interesting. Now, the trailer very clearly pitched it in a more comedic tone, this film, because it was playing like the Chevy Chase National Lampoon's vacation music over the trailer. So while the first one did have humorous elements to it, it wasn't what you would describe as a comedy. This is shifted more heavily into action comedy mode this time. It's lightened the tone a little bit. I have seen some reviews that have kind of been complaining about that a little bit, saying, "Oh, you know, we wanted a more seriously toned film. We wanted a John Wick type film." And I'm sorry, but I'm happy with what we get here. I don't want another John Wick type film. I don't want a regurgitation, if you like, of what we saw in the first film. I'm happy that they've actually tried to evolve the franchise a little bit. The humour that's on display here is all... It's like situational humour, in a sense of, he's trying so hard to be the family man, but he keeps getting drawn back into violence. As much as he keeps trying to escape it in this film, it just is like a violence magnet sort of thing. So it's almost like he can't win no matter what he does. It's the comedy from the most part comes from that kind of thing, the situations that he finds himself in. But once again here, the action's absolutely on point. Very good, very creative, very inventive, using everything at his disposal, anything in the environment that he can use as a weapon to give him an advantage. It's really well done. And Bob Odenkirk is even better in this after his performance in the first one. Now, apparently, after all the training that he received for the first film, he's carried that training on. in his own time, sort of thing. He's continuing his martial arts and all this kind of stuff. He's really kind of got into it. Now, and you may or you may not know as well, since he filmed the first one, he also has had a heart attack. That was one of the reasons I doubted that we would see him again doing a film like this. But no, he's kind of turned his life around in a sense of he's more health conscious now. He looks after himself fitness-wise, and he has continued his training that he got in the first film. So it looks even more at ease this time round, doing the fighting and the action scenes, and they are indeed quite graphic and quite a lot of fun to watch, if I'm honest. We once again get Christopher Lloyd here to playing his dad. While I appreciate that Christopher Lloyd is an absolute legend, I find him wasted in this. I'm sure they could have used him a lot better in this. I mean, this is Christopher Lloyd. He could bring a lot to any role. And it just seems like, I don't know, he's just like there. And I think they could have utilised him a lot more. You have also got Sharon Stone as the main villain here. And she's hamming it up, like nobody's business. She's proper pantomime villain here. Maniacal laughing, scorched earth sort of thing she says left, right and centre, and does the old evil dance here and there. So she properly plays the role of what you would expect to see in a film like this in regards to an over-the-top villain. Now, if it was a film that was trying to take itself seriously, her performance would be totally off, absolutely. But because the film doesn't take itself particularly seriously, her performance fits the film. Certainly I think so anyway, and it was nice to see her playing a nice villainous role. We obviously get, is it Arza or RZA? I don't know how you pronounce it, what you say, but he's back as Hutch's brother from the first film. Turning up sort of thing to help a hand and that kind of stuff. We've got Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, playing a villainous role, the corrupt sheriff. It's more of the same. Did you enjoy the first Nobody? If you did, you are going to enjoy revisiting these characters. You are going to enjoy the action on display here. If you don't mind the tonal shift in regards to the lightness this time, the fact that they've dialed it down to kind of make the film feel a lot lighter in its approach, and it's not full on action comedy, but it absolutely doesn't take itself seriously this time round. I argue to some degree the first one didn't, but it absolutely had a far more serious tone than this one. So I had a good time with this one. I thought it was a fun, inventive and creative action film with characters that I'm starting to get really attached to, sort of thing. And I think Bob Odenkirk deserves a lot of credit for his physical performance in this film. So yeah, check this one out if you enjoyed the first one. If you didn't enjoy the first one, well then, this one isn't going to sell it you by any stretch of the imagination. But it's a fun, entertaining sequel, in my opinion, this one. So that's my thoughts on Nobody 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found this review useful. If you did, please click the like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And I will, of course, be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.